had the opportunity to meet Giana maybe 2 years ago. So we've actually met in person and we worked on a couple of projects together. I think one of the many things that I admire about her work is, and also particularly her work with collage. Like collage can take a picture or an image that you might be familiar with and place it in a completely different context that gives you a different perspective. So for instance, like her work around particularly Black women who were workers for the Panama Canal, like the different jobs that they had, and like the different contexts that she puts them in. Like they're not just workers. She takes them out of the context of work and she puts them in the context of like leisure and pleasure and like sisterhood. So that's something that I really admire about her work that stands out to me. And so with the collage, she's able to put these images that we see one particular way, but then make us see them in a completely new way.
And my partner is Jenise Miller. The first time I read her work, there was this sense of familiarity. We weren't raised in the same context necessarily. She was raised in the States, even though she's Panamanian, and her parents were born in Panama. There's this connection that I feel with her work that I would not expect with a writer or a poet that did not grow up in the same space as I did. I think initially I saw it or expected to feel a connection with the work, but not so much this familiarity as if she grew up here or like right down the block from where I was raised.
He estado trabajando, creando diversidad de artes de acuerdo a mis raíces, porque hay mucha diversidad de colores que a la vez me dan referencia para crear lindas bellezas. Trato de aplicar todas las técnicas que he aprendido y experimentado a la vez. Me gusta matizar mucho los colores, me gusta experimentar el color, me gusta crear nuevos colores y a la vez trabajar de una manera gustoso al espectador del fanático. Me gustó ver las obras que el otro artista, el colega, ha presentado porque veo que sigue la misma línea que yo trabajo. Trabaja bastante en lo que es mi descendencia afro y para mí fue un punto que me gustó bastante. A la vez de eso vi la magnitud de la cual él ha elaborado sus obras. Comparece un poco a las que yo hago, a trabajar a escala. Y veo que hay algo de química ahí.
Public art has been something I've done for like 36, 37 years in various parts of the city. Currently, I'm working on a project with Destination Crenshaw, which is the most progressive public art piece I've ever worked on. It has many moving parts. It's a 20-foot sculpture. 10 foot of it stainless steel figures that are Sinifu figures, and that from that point they go into a tress. This tress has cars going in and out of it, and then on top of that tress is a motor. The piece is called Car Culture. Fabio Woods is the artist that I've connected with the international project. He is a muralist and painter. I like his work. I like what he's doing. I like that he's doing environmental things. The piece that he did ceiling for an interior room. I'm not sure what that room is, but I like the idea of using wall spaces and especially ceiling spaces. Visual arts is the next jumping spot for us. And we have to. What is the thing that has defined that black cubbyhole is that we are compelled to show the beauty of our image because we've been so beat down not to look at it as being beautiful. So we are building an understanding of what is beautiful for us. And I just so happen to have chosen the Black female as my launching point of not knowing that that was a political statement unto itself. But I've spent 50 years in defining what that was, what that is to me, and various media, and empowering the Black intellect.
I've been an artist for as long as I can remember. It was almost like a compulsion as a kid. I was an introvert. Drawing was kind of my solace. So I've been drawing or creating as far back as I can remember. Lately, I've been working more on community development work. So the Compton Arts Project is a huge project in our hearts, and it's what we spend most of our time working on. It's a community development project that merges the arts with community projects to try to anchor our community here in Compton while we beautify it. My partner in Cipher, Panama, is Kendall. Kendall is a writer and a poet and a theater actor. The main thing that I was struck by with Kendall's work is that these are fresh works. He was responding in time to the images of paintings that I had already completed that I was sending to him. So he was really setting the tone for our exchange. It really was like a call and response.
When I see the painting of Rosalind, especially leaf on wood, it really, it attracted me right away. And in some way, it made me go back into time and remember my relatives. It's female relatives. We're talking about my aunt, my mother, my sisters, even a girlfriend. Because in some way, it's the expression of woman. And the way we see the moon, like the way for them to express themselves. And I feel really motivated with this. It impacted me. I think in the same way when I make the poetry, the poem, I think Rosalind feels the same thing. Because it's like, picking up from your roots, from your family, people from Africa, people who came to America and suffer slavery and stuff like that. So that really impacted me once I saw the painting, and I think I have more than 4 poems and a short story that come out through that painting. It really touched me.
I think where I live has everything to do with what I do and why I do it, and the way I go about my practice as an artist. Like I said, I want to create more accessible opportunities for people in my community to experience art, because for me growing up, I didn't even know that being an artist was like a serious career. I honestly didn't even know that I could be a full-time artist until like a few years ago. So being from Compton, working in Compton, living in Compton is very important to me.
El lugar donde nací, donde me crié y todo mi entorno ha influenciado definitivamente en lo que soy, en mi arte y en lo que expreso. La verdad es que veo más la influencia de mi entorno en los bailes, pero puedo ver mucho la presencia de mi mamá en el trabajo que hago. Mi mamá siempre me enseñó que teníamos una posición importante en la vida y que podíamos empoderarnos de ella, sentirnos seguras. Y siento que cada vez que busco un personaje, analizo y trato de buscar que ese personaje pues represente lo que realmente debe ser y no desmerite el valor de la mujer. Lo que más me ha llamado la atención de lo que Anthony ha compartido conmigo ha sido su segunda obra. En esa obra él representó a una mujer sobre el mundo, una mujer afrodescendiente. Y se ve cómo esta mujer puede estar empoderada y sentirse segura de ella misma. Esta obra me hizo reflexionar sobre el valor que tenemos como mujeres afrodescendientes, la posición que podemos tener y cómo la historia ha sido escrita tal vez no de la manera más favorable.
So we shared a couple of pieces with each other. One that stuck out to me was actually the first piece that she sent was a role that she played for a children's play. She was dressed as a zebra. And I think that initiated our conversation on how free kids are as far as like receiving the work that artists put out. The way that kids' minds are just really free and kind of unbiased and honest.